Hi, my name's Twin. Today I will be doing my signature assignment on the long-term mobile phone use in brain tumor risk. In the late 1980s, handheld phones were first introduced in Sweden. Mobile phones have been used as a helpful tool in communication. According to Seaward 2013, the first mobile phone call was made on April 3rd, 1973. Since then, mobile phones have advanced into a luxurious needs. However, long-term uses can potentially harm the health of individuals who use the mobile phone devices. The purpose of this article was to further assess the hypothesis that long-term usage of mobile phone can increase the risk of brain tumors. The results from the study include no increased risk found for ipsilateral phone use for tumors located in the temporal and parietal lobes. Furthermore, other researchers found no correlation between the long-term usage and brain tumors. The author concluded that the data did not support the hypothesis that mobile phone use is related to the increased risk of glioma or meningioma. The study was conducted to examine the hypothesis of long-term usage of mobile phone correlating with the increased risk of brain tumors. Due to the increased usage of phones that started in the late 1980s until present, scientists are curious to see if there was a correlation between the usage and development of brain tumors, according to Harold and Carbridge 2014. Previous studies have looked at the odds of mobile phone users developing glioma and meningioma, yet no evidence have shown that mobile phone usage will increase the risk of glioma and meningioma, according to King 2006. Glioma is a malignant tumor of the glial cells tissue of the nervous system. Meningioma is a tumor that arises from a layer of tissue, the meninges, that covers the spine and brain. Long-term exposure of radiofrequency have shown to have activated various cancer cells and may be leading to glioma and meningioma. However, many studies have been done to prove that the odds of being diagnosed for brain tumor, are very minimal and that there is no correlation on the amount of exposure to the frequency to the years of exposure to the high radio frequency from the mobile phone. That was according to Carbonell, Bernardi, Pisa, and Prezis, 2010. The participants were at greater risk for being diagnosed with glioma and meningioma from exposure of different chemicals and other agents such as smoking habits, X-ray investigation of the head and neck, and hereditary traits for cancer, according to Hardell and Carbage, 2014. Methods. The methodology of the study was done in Sweden with approximately 3.7 million people and was restricted to all residents aged 20 to 69 years in the regional cancer registration in Umeå, Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Lund, according to Lund 2005. This article used a comparative study to compare between the long-term usage of mobile phone and brain tumor. The study was performed from September 1st, 2000 to August 31st, 2002, according to Lund 2005. Some major techniques that were used in the study were a control selection and later investigate further into the family history of cancer or exposure from ionization radiation during medical examination or treatment. They obtained this valuable information through a questionnaire interview of the participants, according to King 2006. They later include frequency and duration of the usage and also divided into how many years they spend on the phone. They accumulated mobile phone use in categories into less than 30 hours, 30 to 499 hours, and 500 hours or more, according to Loam 2005. Results. From all the participants in the study, the participant rates are as follows: 74% for glioma, 85% for meningioma cases, and 71% for control. The odds ratios did not change between men or women. The results were unchangeable if answers were male questionnaire and were excluded. The odds did not increase with the duration of use for any of the tumor types, and the effect was not modified. As a result, there was no indication of any increased odds ratio for glioma. There was also no indication for any increased odds ratio for any tumor sites, regardless of the histology subtypes. The major results is that there is no relationship or correlation between using a handheld device and the increased risk of brain tumors, whether it would be glioma or meningioma from the age of 20 to 69 years old. The participant sample is 371 cases for glioma, 273 cases for meningioma, and 674 cases that were control, according to Lone 2005. The odds or ratio did not differ or alter the results between men or women, and therefore the results were presented only for gender combined. The results did not change or adjusted when family history of cancer and ionized radiation was a factor. Moreover, the results did not change if answers were males. There is no indication of any increased odd ratios for any of the subcategories of glioma, and there were no indication of any increased odds ratio for any tumor sites, regardless of histopatological subtype, according to Hardell and Carber 2014. The odd ratio showed overall no association with self-reported laterality of phone usage and tumor laterality. This study observed no increased risk of glioma or meningioma related to mobile phone use, regardless of tumor histology, types of phone, and duration of use. According to Cynthia King, 2006, researchers found no significant correlation between cell phone use and the risk of developing a brain tumor. A large sample size was done to demonstrate that no increased risk existed with use of cell phone over 6 months or as little as several hours, according to King 2006. This and other research have shown consistently that an increased risk exists for glioma ipsilateral to the tumor as opposed to contralateral. However, evidence supports the phenomena is based on recent recall bias, according to King 2006 discussion. The authors and many other researchers have observed and discovered no increased risk of glioma or meningioma related to mobile phone use, regardless of tumor histology, type of phone, or duration of use. The author did not observe any increased risk among long-term users in either the analysis among all tumor sites or the restriction to only parietal and temporal tumor sites on the exposed side. From previously reported studies, the results for acoustic neuroma indicating an increased risk related to mobile phone use of at least 10 years duration were confined to the side of the head where the phone is frequently used. Personal reflection. I chose this article because mobile phones are seen as a luxurious need and a necessity in present time. Since the economy blooms globally, there was an increased demand of having a handheld mobile phone device for each individual. I was also interested if there was a correlation between the time of usage and how many years each individual had been exposed to the electromagnetic field or radiation frequency from the mobile phone. Yet, after reading through various articles and research studies, there was no correlation between the usage and brain tumor. I was in relief to have known that there is no correlation between these two variables. Overall, it was an interesting study to review over. The article was very informative and clearly written. It had a direct thesis of understanding the relationship between handheld devices and brain tumors. It flowed with numerous details and explained each aspect of the study, with providing actual numbers and percentage to support the facts. My honest opinion of the article was that it was educational, but also misleading to me. The results of the study stunned and surprised me. I thought there would be a correlation that there would be an increased risk of cancer to the number of years of exposure to the phone. My assumption was proven wrong in this article and many other articles that I have read. Each article gave me the same answer that there is no correlation between mobile phone and brain tumors. If there was, there would not be people using their phone, and Apple wouldn't make so much money off of the iPhones. The strengths that I have found in this article were that there could be a potential risk involving using handheld device and brain tumor. However, the article provided many useful information as statistical data effectively and organized that it was not hard to find the evidence of each subcategories. The limitation could be that they only use up to the certain amount of duration, such as more than 100 years, but was not clearly stated that when they will be stopped keeping records of years, they will be correlating the results too. The study of ionizing radiation have indicated that the induction period of radiation-induced solid tumors is probably at least 10 years. Also, if these radio frequency radiation have a carcinogen effect, the exposure poses an important public health problem. An intracranial tumor would be primary interest. Some nursing application for mobile phone user can use wireless cords, Bluetooth hands-free mode, and various other ways to prevent the public from exposing themselves to radio frequency or electromagnetic field and being diagnosed with brain tumor. And that concludes my presentation.